Coach.
Do you have an update on, or any clarity on Josh Garnett and his
Yeah, we're gonna, his knee's bothering him. He's gotten some other opinions and stuff. We're gonna give him a week, take this week off, continue to get treatment, and then reassess it next week.
Was the acquisition of Gonzalez in any way colored by not being able to have Josh?
Yes, it was Josh, and also one of Alan Knott's dad passed away this morning, so he had to go home to obviously be with his family.
Any update coming off the field on K1?
I heard he just rolled his ankle. Maybe we'll find out more later. Right now we don't think it's high, but we'll see.
Sherman's out for at least a week, is that right?
Yeah, at least a week. Similar to Garnett, we're definitely going to rest him at least a week. We don't think it should be long term. It's grade 1, but it's a little higher than we expected, so we got to be careful with that.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about what you're seeing out of this running back group?
We got a good group. We got a bunch of guys who can run with speed, as far as 40 times. But we got some tough guys who are running hard, and it's going to be a good battle. A lot of the younger guys have gotten better from last year. We've added some more competition, and they're going to make this tough on us.
I have a more of an offbeat question. Is there a favorite stat that you have, maybe from the advanced stat realm, that you track offensively from week to week?
No, not really. Gosh, I can't think of many stats I look at that consistently. People bring stuff to you and stuff, but you really kind of just figure it out as the week goes watching tape. You can, sometimes you'll finish a third down cut up and you watch it for a few hours and you're like, man, I don't have any plays for this. Gosh, they look good. What are they ranked? And then you find out when you ask them when they're number 1, you're like, all right, it looks like it. But there's nothing we really look into real hard. But you have an idea what you're going against once you see those cut-ups.
What about stats of your own, like kind of third down efficiency or something? Is there?
Yeah, it's the number 1 stat is the win-loss stat, which is pretty important. But after that, every year I think every team's the same. The team who wins the turnover battles and who has the plus margin, usually those top 5 teams are always playoff teams, and usually the 2 teams in the Super Bowl are always in the top 5. So I think the one most consistent stat is turnovers. Third down is a huge thing. Third down, it's very hard to score points and get a lot of runs called if you're not doing good on third down, because you just don't stay on the field very long. And then, defense, to me, it's always about points. You can give up yards and stuff, and that can come in weird times, but in defenses, it's keeping them out of the end zone.
How frustrating or troublesome has that right guard spot been? I know at the beginning of camp you said that's the spot you need to figure out. It seems like it.
Yeah, it's still early. We, that's the one we got the most competition at, that's for sure. And 2 of the guys who are going to be right, should be right in that competition aren't practicing fully yet. So, obviously they haven't been in it, but it's given other opportunities for guys like Magnuson, guys like Person, and those guys have played football. They have started games in this league before, and it's definitely got them right in this mix.
What would CJ's itinerary like to get back here?
I don't know. He surprised the heck out of me when I was in the middle of calling a play, and he was just staring at me. And he shocked me. I didn't think he'd be here till after practice, so I didn't have time to ask him how he got here, but something must have happened. He was supposed to be later.
How much do you enjoy the period where you get to throw it around a little bit? It's like the defensive team drill.
It's the best thing about being a head coach. It's really fun. No, I'm just joking, but it's fun for me because it's fun to try things out, just to mess around, to do, and it's fun for our equipment guys and our strength coaches and stuff because they put the cleats on and try to run around. But it's also fun to try things. You try to coach the quarterback on and do stuff, but we only like going against zone, though. We're not good versus man to man. We struggle. We struggle, and it's easier knowing they're not going to hit me either. So, but it's fun to be over there with the guys and talk about stuff and what you see, and I think it helps both sides.
Who's your go-to target usually?
Bobby Sullick, without a doubt. Yeah, he's gotten better each week too.
You talked a lot about Jimmy's second full off season, learning the whys. Where do you think he is in that process?
He's still coming along with that. I think he'll even be better next year. This is his first training camp. I know, we've thrown everything at him, and it's the second time going through it because the first time was OTAs, and we're done with the install, so now we're isolating on a few more things that we come back to that we haven't since like day 1, but much further along, obviously, than he was last year, and I think he'll be much further along next year, too, at this time.
Garrett Selleck actually was the guy who brought up overcoming coaching, and he said it in relation to Jimmy last year. that was, I don't know if he was parodying what you said or he brought it with him. But well, I guess could you just maybe answer that first? Was that something Jimmy already had as part of him, is telling guys, hey, you got to overcome coaching?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he ever used that verbiage before. You'd have to ask him that. I don't know. It's something we say a lot in our meetings, so I assume that he used that verbiage from here. But no, Jimmy loves talking about routes, man to man and what guys are expecting and stuff. And that's the part of football he really enjoys. I don't know if he got that from someone or if that's something that he just likes to do, but I think that's what helped him. The guys get to know him throughout the year. And it's good that they're always communicating, and I think it helps them.
You didn't trademark that term?
No, I know. I should have. Who knows? I probably got it from someone else too. So there's not much that coaches come up with for the first time ever.
Do you feel the league will have a quote-unquote better book on Jimmy Garoppolo this season, and is that a challenge for him?
I don't know. I mean, people talk about better books. Some people, we got to figure the guy out. I mean, you hear that all the time with quarterbacks. It's, you figure the scheme out, and then you stop plays, and then you put other stuff in to get other people open, and you see if the quarterback's capable of doing other stuff. So I think Jimmy's capable of making any type of throw. I think he sees the field very well. So it's not like they're going to learn how to stop him from running with the ball and then stop him from throwing. Jimmy has a very talented arm, knows how to play in the pocket, and hopefully we can continue to get guys here to separate, help get people open in zone, and give them time to go through progressions and give them a running game, not to put all the pressure on them, eliminate turnovers, play defense, and then when it's like that, it's if a guy has the ability to do it, usually they do.
Is that what you kind of strive for as an offensive coach, is to not have gimmicks that basically what you see is what you get, like it's make it more difficult for teams to...
Yeah, I think that's the basis of our scheme, that you never just put in a play that stands alone. You put in a play that's attacking something, and you have an idea of what they have to do to stop it. And when they do stop that, it definitely stops that play. You don't keep running it. It opened up another play, and that's just what you go to.
Kind of following up on that, with some of the guys you brought in skill position wise, with the versatility they have, the different things they do, do you feel like you have reached a point, or has it been a goal to reach a point where you can call just about anything with the same personnel? In other words, you don't have certain guys coming in for certain things that kind of give things away.
Yeah, you got a chance. We got a bunch of different options on our team and guys who have different traits. You're an injury away from one thing going down where you got to block that out for a quarter or a week. So stuff changes all the time. That's why you want more options, and the more options, the better things that you can adjust to as injuries happen and schemes take stuff away. But that's the goal here, just continuing to get guys who can do things that put defenses in binds, and then it's our job to put those guys in those situations.
One of the reasons I asked that question about the stats before, Corey Toomer in run stop rate at one of the advanced metrics led the NFL a couple years ago in pretty limited time, but it wasn't the smallest size. Was that something that you guys noticed?
No, I didn't know that. Our analytics guys would probably be pumped though, if knowing that you're on the same page as them. But it all starts out with what we see, and then sometimes we'll make some points, and then you'll hear something to say, yeah, you're right, this is what the stat says, or to say, no, we don't see it that way because it's this stat. And sometimes someone will have a yards per carry, and then you'll say something like, yeah, but man, there's not a lot there, and I think he's a good runner, and I think he gets more after, even though he's only 3 yards a carry, but I feel like it's only blocked for 1. And then we'll have stats that, well, yeah, he's second in the league after contact, getting more yards, and that kind of will prove your point a little bit there. Like things like that. I don't not listen to anything, but you take it all in, and some stuff makes sense, and some stuff, it's just there's a little too many variables for it to be black and white.
Coach, how has Toomer been as a player? What is he a guy that you can see plugging in to Ruben's spot there?
Yeah, I think we got some depth right now and some hard competition. At inside linebacker and at outside linebacker, and Toom has played in the system before, so he has an idea, and he's very athletic and talented. He can run well, he can cover well, he can help on special teams. So there's going to be a good player who doesn't make our team at the end of this.
Coach, what have you seen out of the young receivers, Trent Taylor and Dante Pettis, in this training camp?
Well, Trent's still battling to get back. Today was the first day we let him get in on one-on-one rep. I think he had 2 reps of that today. So that was the first time he's gone against someone in front of him since our last game of the year versus the Rams last year. So Trent's battling through that. He looked good in his 2 reps. We'll see talking to him. So hopefully he'll get back because he was a big help for us last year. And then Dante just going through what everyone else is. They're battling versus these corners every day. Some days the receivers get the best of them. Some days the corners get the best of them. So I know our guys are probably looking forward to going against another team, Dallas this week, and we'll be excited to practice against Houston next week. Just get some different looks and some different people.
Pierre had some downfield catches today with Jimmy. I know you mentioned their chemistry and working on that earlier. Where are you at with Pierre, and is he sort of on a different schedule, I guess, early in training camp, just given where he's at?
I don't worry too much about Pierre. Pierre looks the exact same as the guy we had last year. And he did a real good job for us last year in those 7 games he played. We depended on him a ton at that time. And then once he left, we went through a few games where it was hard to depend on anyone. Guys just weren't quite ready for it. But it forced guys to step up. And after we battled through some tough spots, there became a lot of guys that we could depend on. So we know who Pierre is. We know what he brings to the table. And I know what he'll be on Sunday.
Guys, Coach, going back to Trent Taylor, what makes him so special in this offense? I mean, obviously, he's a shorter stature guy, but he shows up, larger than life on the stat sheet.
Yeah, one, he can beat man coverage. He has the quickness to do that. He has the speed to do that. He has good hands. He does not drop many balls, and then he is one of the better guys I've been around at overcoming coaching. He doesn't always run it exactly how it's the same every time. He's got a great feel for zones. Times, you're calling plays versus man, they got to stay on the move, and then he just feels he's about to get hit in the zone, and he hooks up even though you didn't tell him to hook up. It's very natural for him, and that's something you could see a lot of him in college, just playing in the spread system that he did. But anytime you're talking about a slot receiver and stuff, it'll always go back to how consistently can you beat man-to-man coverage? Because those are the guys that, to me, allow you to score points if they keep you on the field on 3rd down. And if you get off on the field on 3rd down, you won't see a running game, you won't see explosives, you won't see points. You have to stay out there to run an offense.
Took a couple of reps at right D end in one-on-ones against Joe Staley and did pretty well. Do you feel he has some untapped potential on the edge, or would?
Yeah, I do. I think Buck has a talent to play anywhere. Obviously a big man like that, you want him inside the most. But when you have a guy like that you have to be accountable for at all 5 O-line positions and just protection rules and some of the different things you can do, just to have that versatility and the threat of being there makes offenses work on a lot of different things. And he has the skill set to still get there too.
Another overcoming coaching question. Does that not pertain to timing routes?
Yeah, not at all. I mean, you have to be anal as can be to get guys to be exact and to know the timing of stuff. And that's why coaches are. It's hard work to make things automatic. And to do it automatic, there's an element to doing it exact like a robot. And once you can get that embedded in people, then there's a heck of a lot more to football. And so, both are important. A guy who just overcomes coaching every single play is a guy who's not going to make a team because no one's going to know what the heck he's doing, and it's going to always be someone else's fault. So there's a fine line to all of that, but it's players trying to do the best he can, and we're trying to do the best we can to get him to succeed on Sunday, and there's 100 different ways that can happen.
All right.
Thanks, guys.